nerds? What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live at 10:24 in the morning. And this, the 14th day in the year of our Lord's Hello Kitty, 2023. It is about 71 degrees and spooky foggy outside. It's perfect weather to start talking about our favorite holiday, Spooktober, Halloween. And guess what's back? Guess what's back? I am so excited about this. I absolutely love this. The CDC Zombie Apocalypse Survivor Guide is back up on the CDC website. Did you know that several years ago, during the whole zombie TV movie fad, the Center for Disease Control received, according to them, at least 2 phone calls or contacts per day regarding the possibilities of a zombie pandemic. And this was before 2020. This was all the way back in 2011 when they were getting calls and emails about the possibility of a zombie uprising. Now there's 2 ways the CDC could have gone with that. They could have just brushed aside all the phone calls, told people they were stupid of all the possible things that could happen to bring about the end of the world that was in their neck of the woods. That was the least probable. But no, they did something completely different. They said, let's make a zombie crisis, zombie apocalypse survival guide and use it in a tongue-in-cheek way to teach people general skills and ways, things they would need to do for an actual disaster, be it earthquake, fire, flood, whatever. So this was out. It was a zombie apocalypse survival guide, but it actually just gave you the recommended things that the CDC would recommend for any disaster, fire, earthquake, whatever. But they wrote it in the way of the tongue-in-cheek, what you should do during the zombie apocalypse. And this was on the website for a while. I mentioned it every Halloween. About 4 years ago, they took it down. I guess they stopped receiving calls about the zombie apocalypse, or they just figured they were wasting space or whatever. Then COVID happened. And of course, the CDC, whether you agree or disagree with them, was knee deep in the COVID wars. And now that the COVID wars are mostly over, it has, amongst other things, reignited the interest in zombie apocalypse. Case in point, there are at least 4 spin-offs of The Walking Dead coming out. Brand new zombie survival horror games, brand new zombie survival books, movies, whatever. Thanks to the pandemic, zombies are popular again, and the CDC, tongue-in-cheek, has released a brand new zombie survival guide, and I absolutely love that they did this. I absolutely love what they did this. You can be anywhere you want on the political spectrum regarding COVID and the vaccines and the CDC. This is just sheer tongue-in-cheek brilliance. How do you teach people basic disaster survival skills and take advantage of the paranoia in such a way that people realize that these are skills you need in any situation where a disaster might happen? But we're gonna, also post tongue-in-cheek the idea that the zombie apocalypse can happen. Because let's face it, of all the possible toxic apocalypses that could happen to the earth, the zombie apocalypse is the least likely. The closest is the Last of Us apocalypse. Now, that technically has like a 0.1% chance of actually happening, as opposed to a zombie apocalypse. The closest thing to a zombie apocalypse would be a mass rabies outbreak. That's probably the closest thing. Or the super fungus from The Last of Us. But when you look at all the possible pandemic scenarios for, extinction events, zombie, no. So it can be found. It's free. It's on the CDC website. It is the CDC Zombie Pandemic Preparedness. It is offered as a how do you survive a zombie apocalypse guide, but it's done tongue-in-cheek, offering you, general what to do if a fire breaks out, what to do if an earthquake breaks out, what to do if there's power, what to do if you're stuck in a flood, standard everyday survival techniques, have escape routes ready, have drop bags ready, know where to go, know what to do, know phone numbers, know who to call, know where your relatives are, stuff like that. All these important things that you need to survive in a general disaster, but they have presented it in a zombie apocalypse survival. And it is wonderful. It is just absolutely wonderful. So if you need to learn some general what to do if a disaster hits me skills, presented in a tongue-in-cheek zombie apocalypse method, it's a great handout for kids. It's a great thing. I love this. And I mentioned it every Halloween, and I was about to start working on Wretched Undead, so I decided to check if the site was back up, and it is. So, yes, obviously, this is going to feature heavily in my next Wretched project, because I just this exists brings me so much joy. I hopefully you appreciate it, even if you are totally anti-vax and the whole thing was stupid, and you can still appreciate the fact that these are general skills you should know for any potential disaster situation, especially with all the floods, fires, hurricanes that are hitting us on a daily basis here. And they do it in a tongue-in-cheek comic book kind of way. So this is wonderful. I highly recommend you check it out. The link is down below. And of course, I will be mentioning it in my next Wretched project. So win-win. Thank you, CDC, for having a sense of humor and putting this up. We appreciate it. And we'll be back with more zombie news as we get closer to our favorite holiday. Till then, I'm the Zombie GM, hoping that you are prepared for the inevitable feline overlord revolution where the cats develop opposable thumbs and take us over. Till then, stay safe out there and brave.